Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to anyone who's listening. I screwed up really badly the other day. I got my friend Mia's birthday completely wrong. hmm So her birthday is actually on the 31st of this month. So I got in very, very, very early. Go figure, eh? It's when you feel like shit about yourself, you forget dates, you get dates mixed up and all that hoo ha and all that sort of stuff. So I sincerely apologise to Mia for getting her birthday wrong. But as I was, tonight's live is all about self growth that I've believed that I've come across since having my YouTube channel. I thank everybody who's participated, whether they've been on panel, donated, contributed in any way, shape, or form. I appreciate everybody who has been here from the beginning, middle, and I can't say the end yet because it's not the end of my channel just yet. But no, I'm trying my hardest to try this new thing where I don't complain so much. I'm trying. And I mean, I'm really, really trying. And it's not as easy as people may think it is, but I am trying. I'm trying also to look at new things. Give me one sec, guys. Sorry. Yeah. Yep. No, it's all good. Like I said, it's just like I'm trying, like I said, very, very hard to remain positive about things that are happening around me, even though a lot of those things seem to be negative lately. Like I'm trying to, and this is where I fail each and every time. I am trying to find tops, as in t-shirts, like tank tops, all that sort of shit. I am trying to find things that I actually like that are nice, in color, in design, all that sort of shit. But you see, the thing is, though, as they call it, I have what they call a muffin top, but a bit more than a muffin top. I have a fat stomach. I'm not ashamed to say that. I do. And the thing is, though, it makes it buying certain things, as a lot of women might agree, a lot of men might agree. I don't know. But it makes it very, very difficult to be able to buy certain things. So for me, if I see things in the shops that I like the look of, I have to go up two sizes or so just to make sure that it can cover my stomach. And if I do that, then I feel very insecure because of the fact that it's a size that I know that I'm not. Like I can fit into size 14 in some places, and then in other places I have to buy two or three sizes up just to be able to make sure it covers my stomach. And it hurts me a lot, and it destroys any kind of self-esteem I could have for that day. It could potentially destroy it. I find that I can fit into, say, size 14 in leggings and jeggings and all that sort of shit. But when it comes to other certain things, it doesn't happen. Hey, Ink, long time no see. How you been, sweetheart? Yeah, so I find that very difficult. I find that like places like Temu and Wish and eBay and all those kinds, AliExpress and all those kinds of places, they have absolutely beautiful, beautiful flowing tops there. They do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, but they're so bloody expensive. Sorry, I'm getting messages through Airtasker. And sorry, give me one sec, guys. Sorry. Yeah, so like I said, it's sometimes it's I haven't heard from you in ages, Ink. It's awesome to see you here, sweetheart. But like I said, it just sometimes it gets for me like I don't have much of a self-esteem to start with. I don't. I try to, and it sometimes it works in my favor. Like when I go to the shops and stuff like that, I look at things, and it's funny that when I go shopping with my brother, I'm sometimes quiet, and my brother thinks that there's something wrong. It's like, no, I'm just thinking. And what happens is that I go to Kmart and I look at things like non-clothing things, and I look at things like they've got these packs at the moment that are fridge storage containers that are designed to keep food in your refrigerator fresher longer, so to speak. Don't see how that works, but hey, if they say that's what they do, that's what they do. But the thing is, though, I'm going to get a few of them so that I can organize my fridge properly instead of just having it not organized, if that makes sense. And the thing is, though, I look at them and I'm thinking to myself, is this a want or a need? If it's a need, then I should get them. If it's a want, then it's like they can wait. But it's frustrating because of the fact that, you know, lots of people think I complain about that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think I've got rights to sort of complain because it's frustrating because, like I said, there are things I want to get. There's things, as in like tops, women's tops, that is, because I am a lady, that I've seen on Temu that are absolutely beautiful. But you've got to look at them and you've got to ask yourself, are they going to last? Is the material as good quality as they make it look like it's in the pictures? Who knows? But also, I've come across a few people around the interwebs who try and pretend that they're celebrities that they're not. Now, that upsets me because, okay, Ink, this is how I do it now, is that if something is a want, then it can wait. If it's a need, then I get it. You know what I mean? Like everyday things are a need, like you need food, you need water, you need the basics of the things that are a need. But it comes down to what people consider a need in comparison to a want. It's like I need to get back into true crime. I do, because that's the channel of my name of my channel. I want to be able to have selected people up here to be able to talk about whatever they want to talk about. And it gets frustrating because I don't know exactly what to do with certain things. Like I've talked about the Beaumont children who went missing back in 1966, and that was long, long, long before my time. It was about quite a number of years before I was born. But the thing is, though, it's interesting. Yeah, for sure, Ink. I can teach you. It's just basically, okay. Here's a quick crash course for you, Ink. If you look at, say, for example, while we're talking, look at something that you know you want. Okay, so say, for example, you find that you want a new handbag, right? You've got to look at it and think to yourself, okay, you want that new handbag because it's your favorite color. All right. Did you know that a person changes their mind about their favorite color at least 15 times a day? Believe it or not, a day. I would say a year to be more stretchy out worthy. But the thing in a lifetime, you change your mind about your favorite color all the time. But the thing is, though, is that you've got to look at that handbag and think to yourself, okay, if I buy this handbag because I want it, what is it going to bring to my life that is going to be beneficial? So, for example, if you buy that handbag, you're going to get a few people saying, oh, Ink, I absolutely love your handbag. And then after a while, you get no feedback from it. And then you look at your handbag and toss it to one side, and then you see another one that you want. Okay. What is the main reason you want something? Because you think you'll get a little bit of positive feedback from it. A little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Like, that's how I choose to do things now. I look at things in a different way compared to a want and a need. If I look at a handbag, I think, okay, ooh, I want it, but do I need it? You know, like, in other words, do I have another handbag that, even though it's not the greatest color in the world, will that handbag justify holding my car keys? I don't have a car, but also house keys, cigarettes, lighter, purse, phone. You've got to look at it at all of that sort of stuff. Does the bag you currently have support all of that? You know, and if it does, then why would you go spend more money on a new one? Because you want it, or do you need it? Like, you need air to breathe. It's not just saying, I want air to breathe. It's like, you need air to breathe. You know, like, you need to be able to have a decent amount of sleep every night. You need to have the self security within yourself to know that you don't have to want things in order to need them. You know, like, be happy with that sort of stuff. Okay. Name something that you really, really, really want at the moment, Ink. That will actually help me a bit better, hon. Name something you really, 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 really want. Okay. If you could help me out with that, that'd be awesome. That helped me understand how to help you a bit better. Name something that you really, really, really want at this point in time. Okay. Well, that's a need. That's not a want. That's a need. You need a place to live, so you're not facing homelessness when you have to vacate the property you're currently in. That's not a want. That's a need, honey. You need somewhere to live. Okay, so that's how you can tell the difference between a want and a need. You want somewhere to live, but you, more than importantly, because I remember you telling me a little bit about your life once upon a time back in the day, and I see it as, this is a need. Okay. You want a place to live, but you need a place to live so that you can start your life that you deserve. From what, I'm not going to tell anyone anything you've said to me, but from what you've told me in the past, honey, I would say, it's, for me personally, I consider it a need. Yeah, you need a place to live ASAP. It's not a want, honey. It's a need, because you need to get away from what's happening where you are. If that is still happening, you need to get out of there. All right. So I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you, it's a need more than a want. All right, because that is a need. And I'm not, without going into too much about your life, this is a want. This is a need for you, not a want. All right. But no, but like I was saying, like, when I've talked about certain things here on my channel, I want to be able to help people. But at the same time, it's an ASAP. Yeah, it's a need, honey. So if anyone out there knows Ink and has a place for her to rent, please get in touch with her. You know, and but like I said, it just, sometimes it gets very, very hard. Yeah, it's a need, honey. You need to get out of that situation, and fast. Because you see, when you want something, you can sidestep around it and hope that, you know, one day it'll become a need. But when you need something, it's like there's no way to say sidestep left, sidestep right, forward step forward and backwards. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way around it, so to speak. That's the difference in my mind. Okay, so bear with me. This is just what I'm thinking. The difference between a want and a need. A want, like I said, you can sidestep around it and hope it gets better. But when it becomes a need, because you feel yourself losing who that person you used to be, that used to be able to laugh at a joke or something like that, for you here, Ink, you need to get out of that situation. It's not a want thinking that one day it'll get better, one day it'll be okay. You need to get out of there while you still have that spark inside of you, honey. All right. So if there's any way I'm all the way in Australia, so I can't do much to help with getting a place and finding your place or anything like that. But I will occasionally, if you want, you can put a comment into my thing when the live is over and just say, tell people what you're looking for. And if anyone replies, then we could. But just make sure whoever does reply and put a comment up there saying they've got a place, make sure it's in decent price range, guys. Come on. I understand that. I know what it feels like to be lost, Ink. I do. I know definitely how it feels to be lost. I know that firsthand. I know how it feels to feel like you can turn no way or nowhere because each and every time you try, someone is there to fuck it up for you. You know what I mean? And it's not worth it. You just need to continuously have faith and belief in yourself. None of this believing God crap. All right. I'm not saying God's crap, guys. I'm just saying, all the crap that you could believe in and all the other people you believe that can help you. That's all crap. All right. You need to help you. And right now, you need to start putting up advertisement for looking for a place to live in your local area or far away from your local area. Whatever you have to do, you have to start taking the steps to get away from that toxic environment sooner rather than later. Because if you stay in that toxic situation, it is going to be so hard to figure out who you used to be. And trust me, that is the most hardest thing to rediscover yourself when you've lost yourself. Because when people say to me, "Oh, Tammy, I miss who you used to be," and I'm like, "Well, who the fuck was that? Tell me who it used to be. Tell me who I used to be that you miss so much." And then when they don't want to tell you, it's like, well, what the fuck, Like you go through life thinking, like if you're a celebrity of sorts and you get given a script and your manager's saying to you, "Hey, this is an amazing script. You are so right for this part." But you in your heart feel as though that you're not, then don't do it. Just because your manager thinks you're right for the part, he's not, or she, because managers can be both. They're not the ones that are going to be standing under all these, lights and cameras for the next, say, 6 months or so of your life, their life. They're not going to be there doing that. You are. You're going to be doing the hard work to make sure that you present that role to their acceptance, to make sure that because your manager and all this sort of shit says that you're perfect for the role, you feel as though then you have to become perfect in order to, succeed in that role. But if you don't think that you're right for it, tell your manager to go shove it and say straight, or maybe not in those exact words. Maybe just say, "Look, I don't feel right about this part. I don't feel that it's me." And hey, if your manager doesn't accept that, hire me. I'll be your manager because I'll work with you. You know what I mean? You don't want to become a part of something you don't believe in. If you believe that you deserve to be treated like shit by a mother, father, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, cousin, nephew, niece, whatever, if you think you deserve that, then before you actually become so self-involved in believing that, ask yourself this question: what did I do to deserve to be treated like this? And then what you do then is you take a huge side step to the left or the right, depending on what side of you they're standing on, and then walk away. And you know what? You don't turn back. Because I'm telling you now, not a single person on this planet, well, hang on, it's really hard to actually say that. Yeah, well, no, I'll say that because we're excluding people in jail because they deserve whatever. What I'm saying is that if you think that being abused by a parent is acceptable, you need to get out of that situation. If your own children are treating you like shit, you need to ask yourself, okay, one, where did they learn this kind of treatment of me? I've done nothing but be there for them. I did nothing but raise them, but yet they're treating me like shit. It might be nothing you've done to them. It might be something that they've witnessed you doing to other people, and they think, well, hang on a second, they don't deserve that, so maybe we should do a bit of payback. That's not the way life works. If you think you're being treated like shit, get out of the situation. Yep. All right, well, you know what you do then, Ink, is that if you think you've lost yourself and you don't know where she went, okay, this is going to sound weird, but it helped me, all right? Find a garden, not your own garden in your own backyard, not that one, fuck no. Find a place in your area, or even if you have to drive there to get there, all right? Go to a place where you can be, go to a botanical garden. Find somewhere just to sit under a tree and relax and be you. Now, the thing is, though, for me personally, I found that place Christmas night, and then it got not Christmas night. When was it? When I was a kid. Yeah, it would have been around Christmas time when I was a kid. I found this rose garden when I lived at home with my parents, and I used to go up there sometimes. Sometimes I used to climb out of my window of my bedroom, and I would just go there in the middle of the night and just be there amongst all the roses and the quietness and everything like that. And it became what I called my secret garden. All right. My secret garden became a place where I would never take anybody. But if I did, it means that I trusted that person completely and solely and wholly and all that sort of shit. Now, the thing is, though, is the fact that there aren't very many people that I've taken there. So my point being, though, is the fact that there are people out there and places where you can go and you can try. Yeah, never look back on abuse thinking that, oh, there's no point trying to rediscover who you are and leave a situation if you're just going to go back into the same situation. You have the power to walk away if you do decide to go back there for a visit or two. But the thing is, though, you've got to remember, though, you don't want to do that. If it's causing you so much pain and so much anger and so much confusion while you're there, why would you want to put yourself back in a situation where it might be just a fleeting visit? But don't do that to yourself. Wait until you are fully healed and strong enough to be able to go there. And that thing they do on Deal or No Deal, they don't push a button over here, they do the arms crossed over and say no deal. That's what you need to do every time between now and when you leave and beyond, until you find out who you used to be and make sure that is who you want to be again. Defend yourself. Don't allow anyone to stop you from this journey you're about to take, Ink, because I moved out of home when I was very, very young. Never went back home to live. No matter how hard life got, I refused to do that because I just didn't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I hated my home life when I was a kid. I love it. Look at life now. I like my life. I wouldn't say I love it. Like, I get along with my mother now. I can have conversations with her about stuff, and sometimes she doesn't sound like she wants to listen, so I think she puts the phone down, but she does stay on the phone this time. If I'm upset about something, she listens to me, whereas because I remember once not yelling at her, because I don't see the point in yelling at my mum, because, it didn't get me anywhere. But I remember once saying, all I want from you is to understand that I'm hurting too. All I want is to be part of your world. I just want you to love me. And she goes, I love you. You know that. And I'm like, no, I fucking don't. No, I fucking don't. I don't know these things. So by me being able to say that to my mum and telling her one Christmas that I felt as though she blamed me for the death of my grandmother and the death of my dad, neither one of them had anything to do with me. But by telling her, excuse me, by telling her that's what was hurting me, thinking that with the way she treats me is like she blames me, out of nowhere, and I mean literally, guys, out of nowhere, my mum started calling me 2 or 3 times a day, which is okay, is fine. I don't care. But my point being, though, is the fact that she started to ring. She started asking her, she said at one stage, I'm just ringing to check in on you to see if you're okay. And I'm like, this is weird, man. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to test the water. I'm going to dip my whole hand in the water and see what happens. And I said, I love you, Mum, don't you? And she goes, yeah, and I love you, love. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck, man? Because it would normally be, I do. You don't need to be told every day. But every time we talk on the phone now, sometimes she forgets. So if you're listening to this on replay, Mum, try not to. But when I talk to her now, I always end every phone call with telling her that I love her. Because I do love my mum. Because, it took a long, and I mean a long, long, long time to get to where we are. That doesn't mean everybody else is miraculously going to have that breakthrough. But I think personally, what it comes down to is the fact that my mother and I are a lot alike. We've both been through shit and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. You will. There's no such word as never until you try. Like there used to be this movie out there, and it starred Australian actress Claudia Carvin, and she was it was a movie based on someone's real life, so to speak, and she was Olympian skier, and she was a champion, and she ended up one time having a really severe bad skiing accident. I can't remember the girl's name, but she hurt her back in such a way that she couldn't walk anymore. And the doctors were forever telling her that she would never walk again, never walk again. Now, the movie was called Never Tell Me Never. All right. Now, my advice in regards to that is the fact that she now, as far as I know, she's out and about, she's walking, she's running, she's skiing, she's doing all this sort of stuff after the doctors told her that she would never be able to do those things again. Now, in regard, where I'm getting to on that ink is the fact that never tell yourself never. All right, is because if you tell yourself I'm never going to be who I once was, then you never will. But you've got to look at the big picture. Do you really want to be that person that was so easy to break that you became the person you are now? I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. Please don't think I am. But what I'm getting at is the fact that never, ever think to yourself you want to be who you were. I never want to be who I once was because that person was so easy to break and crumble and fall on a heap on the ground and cry and scream. I save that for when people walk out my door. But what I'm saying is, though, is the fact that look at the big picture of all of it and ask yourself, what is it you really want? Do you want to be who you used to be, or do you want to be a stronger version of that? Don't ever try and be who you used to be, Ink. All right, then, Ink, focus on what's going to make you happy. Getting your own place. Start looking in the classifieds. If you can't afford it, start looking for house share or something. Look for something that's going to make you happy. Don't count on other people to do the stepping for you. You have to take those steps forward, honey. It's been like this. If it's the same situation that you talked to me about a few years back, then, hun, you need to take those extra steps to actually make sure that when you leave for good. If you honestly want nothing to do with that person who's hurting you, and yes, I know who it is, but I'm not saying who because it's not my place. You need to take a step forward and say to yourself, okay, every time you walk out that front door and you hop in your car and you drive, you know what you should start doing? Start taking things with you. So that way, when you leave next time, you're not having to take so much with you because your mum would just think, oh, she's not taking much with her if it's your mum you live with or anything like that. Oh, she's not taking much with her. She'll be back. But in the meantime, you've taken stuff with you. And as you take that stuff with you, if you can afford to do it, get yourself a storage shed. And start putting some of those things in there. So then when you do find a place, you can go straight there, get all your stuff and move that stuff into your new place. But honey, don't keep delaying it. because I want you to be happy. I want all 5 of you that are in here to be happy. I want that for all of you. Oh, good. Hey, Bubsy. How you doing, sweetheart? I just want every single person in here to know that if they're in a toxic part of their life and something's going on that they don't like, try your hardest to change it. But don't change back into who you used to be, because that person, I'm sorry, this is how I view myself. If I say to myself, oh, I want to be who I used to be, no fucking way do I want to be that person, because that person was a pushover. That person was able to be broken so easily. Yeah, well then, you know what? If you've moved a lot, if you've already moved a lot, then Ink, what you need to do, sweetheart, is you need to start looking for somewhere to live. That's your next step. Even if it's across state lines. Who gives a shit? If you can honestly, if you've already got a storage shed and you've moved a lot already, then you need to start looking for places to live. All right? That's what you need to start doing, sweetheart. Huh? You kick my ass? What the fuck? Yes, I give Bubsy permission to kick my ass if I ever go back to who I used to be. Yes. All right, Ink, that's awesome. Then you know what you need to do? Yeah. What needs to happen, Ink, is that you need to try. Okay, and this is where it's going to be hard. All right, this is the hard part of the journey, so to speak, is that you need to take a step back and go, okay, I'm feeling like this now, but do I want to bring this positive, this negative attitude to my new life? And I can guarantee you don't, because the longer you take to start feel like anytime that, so for example, you live with your sister and your sister's being a bitch. All right. Anytime that she's a bitch to you from here until when you move, if you're in the kitchen, she walks in before she even has a chance to open her fucking mouth, walk out. You then go sit in the lounge room. She comes and sits in the lounge room. You just get up and walk out. Because, honey, trust me, that's going to piss them off, yes. But it's going to make you feel a little bit more powerful, knowing that you have the ability to walk away from negativity. Excuse me, sorry, my throat's starting to play up again. But that's what I'm saying. If you can walk away before they even have a chance to say boo to you, you're already winning. And I know people are going to say, it's not about winning. I'm aware of that. No, you need to be happy and you need to be able to laugh. You will laugh again, I promise you. Well, then you know what you do, honey? Like I said, just anytime they walk into a room you're in, even if you're in the middle of cooking something, turn it off and walk out. Don't allow yourself to be a victim of their bullshit. You're stronger than that, Ink, and I know you are. I believe you are stronger than that. So, in other words, I believe in you a lot. Anyway, I need to go and get stuff for my throat, but I can't. Because I'm a fucktard. I'm broke again. But who cares? That's not anyone's problem but my own. But like I said, it comes down to the fact that if you know that you deserve better, then you've already grown leaps and bounds, because it took me nearly 10 years of living on my own to realize that I deserve to be happy. That's something that it takes a long time to get drummed into your head, in your own head, because a lot like me, when you get treated like shit for a number of years, all right. I don't drink alcohol, Bubsy, but thank you. And plus, I have no money, even if I did, for alcohol. I'd rather just buy some soothers. I bought some cold and flu shit the other day, and it knocked me on my ass, and I fell asleep. So that was good. But no, I just hope that if I get worse, it will be around next Wednesday, so I can go to the shops and get what I need to get. I just hope it doesn't get worse between now and then. But anyway, moving on. What I'm saying is, though, is the fact that, like, I used to always think that if people gave me shit, it was my fault. If people treated me like I didn't matter, it was my fault. Hang on a sec, guys. Sorry. Excuse me. I used to always think that if when one of my exes used to hit me, I used to always think it was my fault. The reason my mother and I didn't get along when I was a kid, my fault. The reason my father drank, my fault. The reason that my sister became a teenage mother, my fault. The reason that my older brother became a bit of a, I don't want to say it, but when he became an asshole, that's the best way to put it. Somehow it was my fault. When my dad was an asshole to my mum, my fault. I don't know why I had that opinion of myself, that I thought that the reason I thought that at times, I think the reason that my mum and my mum and her brother don't talk, my fault. The reason our cousin has nothing to do with us, my fault. I used to always think that, I don't know, I look back on it now and I'm thinking, whoa, that was really fucked up to think all that bad shit about you. So, Tabby. Excuse me. But the thing is, though, you've got to remember, what did all those things have in common? They all knew me. So that's why, from a very young age up until I was about 37, 38, I used to always think that if anyone had any problems with me, it was the same as growing up. The common denominator was the fact they all knew me. Hey, Kitty Witty, how you doing, sweetheart? And that's what I used to think. All these people are connected to me in some way. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. And that's how I used to perceive it as, is the fact that, hey, they all know me, or they all know of me, and all that sort of stuff. So then it must be my fault. And I hated feeling like that until the blame game is a fun game to play, because you can play it with a group of people, or you can play it on your own. It's awesome. It's not. Fuck. Sorry, guys. I'm going to end this live because my throat is killing me. But all I'm going to say as well is the fact that when you play the blame game, you think to yourself, okay, if you're going to blame yourself for the small things, how long will it be before, hang on. Yes. Okay, put it this way. I know what it's like to be verbally abused, and I know what it's like to be physically abused. And both are not fun. Because again, you go through the blame game. It's my fault they drank. It's my fault that they did this. It's my fault they did that. Now, growing up, okay, now I'm not going to mention specifics here, but I'll be around the bush a little bit. Now, when I was a kid, my dad had a drinking problem. And when he couldn't find something, he would flip the fuck out. Like, you name it, he would get angry. All right? And so, it was basically steer clear of him. But it would be my fault or it would be anyone's fault but his. But I have to admit, I used to sometimes, take his pen and take it to school so I could write nicely and all that sort of shit. But he would always have numerous other ones to continue with. So that's the only time I did it. But in saying that, it was my fault because I took that specific pen. You know what I mean? It must have been that specific pen that my dad wanted. And yeah, so it was my fault. And it was. But there's other things that went on that weren't my fault. Like I never asked to be growing up in a family where I felt like I wasn't loved enough or anything like that. It wasn't my fault that my first ever serious relationship ended the way it did and I endured what I did. I keep telling myself it wasn't my fault, but the same thing happened. My ex would drink a lot, and then I thought that the reason he drank a lot is because it was my fault. He needed, in order to drink, he had to be around me, and the only way he could be is if he was drunk. And that's how I felt. Until one day, which I'm not going to mention who they are to me or anything like that. One time I came across this person who came into my life, and I was really scared, in all honesty, to be around this person. This person chose to drink. Now, one time when we were drinking together, everything was fine, and everything remained fine up until we stopped hanging out. And what happened is that they couldn't find something for pulling the blind down and, the little plastic thing that goes on the end of the rope or some sort of shit. And I went into panic mode because I couldn't find it. I went into such a meltdown mode that I actually had to excuse myself from the room and go, luckily, through that person's kitchen and out the back, and there was their bathroom. So I was fine. But the thing is, though, I went in there and I just sat down on the floor and started really breathing really, really, really heavy, thinking, oh, fuck, it's going to be really bad. I'm like, this is fucked, of all times for this to happen, why now? Sort of thing. Because at this time we already had like 2 or 3 beers in us. So I was freaking out. And then about 20 minutes later, I heard a knock at the door and he goes, what's going on? I'm like, nothing, I'll be out in a minute. He goes, no, what's going on? I'm like, did you find that thing? He goes, no, I'll show up, don't worry about it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, no worries. Like, I'm really going to believe that. And then, sure enough, a little while later, it turned up. And my friend was like, see, just told you, showed up. It's all good. Don't worry about it. He goes, what was all that back there? Like, what happened? And I'm like, oh, it's just past experiences when people can't find something around me. They flip out around me. He goes, why'd I flip out? And I said, well, because you couldn't find something. I said, I'm sorry you couldn't find it. He goes, why are you sorry? It wasn't your fault it went missing. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, it's easier said than done. And they gave me a great big hug and said, stop being dramatic. And I'm like, it's very hard to stop being a certain way when that's the only way you know how to be. And over time, like, I'd go to this person's place quite a lot. And it took me about 3 years to get used to the fact that the car has central locking. So at the end of the day, it means the doors automatically lock after a period of time after the car's in motion. And it took me a while to get used to that. All these little things that I saw, and I was like, I had then had the most amazing amount of respect for this person because of the fact that they showed me that you don't have to flip out when something doesn't show up or something's not there or something's just temporarily been misplaced. Who cares? It'll show up. And that's how I learned over a period of time that, hey, they were right. It's not my fault it went missing. It's not like I pulled down the blind and lost the little plastic little thing. It wasn't my fault. And that's how I started learning from this person that certain things happen that are out of your control. And it took me a very, very long time to learn that, unfortunately, and I would like to say to that person when I do speak to them, I like to thank them for showing me certain things of how people could deal with things differently. And it was just, for me, it was a very rude awakening. But yeah, long story short, that's the end of that story because I won't go into that even more. But yeah, that's when I started learning different ways that people deal with things. If something goes missing, hey, things go missing all the fucking time. It doesn't mean it's that person. It doesn't mean it's your responsibility. You've never been there before. It's missing. That doesn't mean, you were told to pull down the blind and you pulled it too harsh and the plastic thing ripped off and then you just threw it over your shoulder thinking, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that happen in this world that are not your fault. Just remember that, Ink. The people you are living with at the moment, they want to treat you like shit. That's on them. That's not on you. It's not your fault. But like I said, every time they walk into a room from between now and when you move out, just walk out of the room. In the middle of cooking something, turn it off. You're in the middle of boiling the jug so you can make yourself a coffee or something, turn it off with the PowerPoint and turn around and walk out. Just don't give them the satisfaction of talking to them. Yes, I still get triggered. Don't allow people to enter your thoughts, Ink, especially if they're going to make you feel negative about yourself, honey. All right, guys, I'm sorry, but I need to. They say gargle salt water when sick. Does that actually work? That sounds really disgusting. But like I said, I have to. I don't have to go, but I need to be able to rest my throat because it's fucking killing me. Might see if I've got any soup. I don't think I do. I think I used it all. Oh well, never mind. Yes, it is. Yeah, I don't think I've got any good salt though, Ink. I love how thank you, Kitty Witty. I love how when people suggest this shit to me when I'm broke. I would love to be able to go to the shops tomorrow, get some proper salt, get some honey, get some lemon, get all that kind of shit, but I can't. Not until at least next week, which is a fuck annoying. But shit happens. I'll just go to bed very early tonight because it is now 6:45 here. So I'll just go to bed somewhat early and hopefully wake up tomorrow feeling bright and chirpy. If anyone wants to contact me, please feel free to message me on Facebook. If any of you wish to, this is going to get me in trouble, but it's worth it. If any of you wish to donate to me, please feel free to do so in PayPal. If you wish to spoil me, please feel free to look at the Amazon wish list. There are 2 people in here at this present moment who have already looked at that, and it's awesome that they've done what they've done. I've currently misplaced part of that little personal alarm thing. I'm not going to say who got that for me, but I've currently misplaced a little bit of it. So until I can get that, find that, and then buy the batteries I'm needed, then I can't use it. But it happens. I don't actually. Okay, Ink. Thing is, though, sweetie, I don't use salt in anything anymore because I find that when I have salt, I feel very. Bleh. So I'm trying my hardest to stay away from all that salty shit. But that's just me because I'm a pain in the ass. So, like I said, PayPal's in the description. Amazon wishlist is in the description as well. So please feel free to donate or explore the Amazon wishlist. Now, this is something I have mentioned in previous lives, and I'm pretty sure you're all sick and tired of hearing me say it. If you wish to purchase me something off my Amazon wishlist, but I don't even have any of that. Sorry. Not me. Nope, 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 nope. I do not have salt. But as I was saying, if you do see something on my wish list that you would like to purchase me, but you don't want to create an Amazon account in order to do so, please feel free to send the money through my PayPal. But in the notes section, you can put, this is for, and then I know that when I receive that money from you, I can then transfer the money over to my debit card, and then I can purchase the thing that you wish to purchase me through Amazon. And yeah. Yeah, see, I'm very strange. I don't have certain things in my house. Like, I don't allow alcohol in my house. I don't allow drugs of any kind unless it's, like, heroin, speed, crack, ice, dope, all that kind of druggy shit. I don't allow any of that in my house. Um, yeah, so I'm a very, 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 very picky person. Oh, and I don't allow salt in my house. But I will go buy some salt. Um, pink Himalayan. Yep, pink Himalayan salt. I'll buy some of that next week because I think I have tried the pink that salt, the pink salt, and I actually find that doesn't actually make me feel yuck. So I'll try and buy some next week. I'll put that in my excuse me. I'll put that in my Coles shopping list when I get off here. But like I said, that's things, like I said, you don't want to create an Amazon account in order to purchase something. I said, don't have to. Send the money, luck. Send the money through PayPal. And I think there's a section there where you can ask. I won't ask anyone who's donated in here to tell me, but if anybody knows anything about PayPal, and let me know. I'm pretty sure you can put a note in there. I got a note from one person who donated to me in my one of my previous lives, and I thank you so much for that. And I thank anybody who chooses to donate to me. I appreciate your love, support, and your hard-earned money. Thank you. But what I'm saying is in PayPal, I believe you get like where you donate it, but then you can add a note to it. So, say for example, if you wanted to purchase something off there, you go, this is for cookbook one. Mind you, the cookbooks I have on there are cooking on a budget, which will actually help me. I can what, ink? Oh fuck. Okay. Well. Oh, how can I do PayPal myself? I got no money. I don't know what you mean, ink. Sorry. Oh, you can leave a little note in the thing. Okay. I think that's what you're talking about. I don't know. Oh, see, that's the thing. I would never encourage anybody to say they have to do certain things in order to be part of my channel. Fuck that. I thought you were saying you unsubscribed to me, and I'm like, why would you do that? Why? Why? Oh, I don't know. Oh, fuck. Oh, yep. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Inks just told me if you are going to be able, if you don't want to create an Amazon wish list to purchase something, you can send the money if you want to. Again, stressing if you want to, you can send it through PayPal and then just add a note to it and say this is to purchase blah blah. This is to purchase blee blee. You know what I mean? I want people to know that it's their choice completely. I'm not holding anyone accountable to say, "Hey, come on, guys, your favorite YouTuber is sick. Cough up." Like I'm doing enough coughing for all of us. You know what I mean? Like I don't hold people accountable. If people want to help, they help. If they don't, they don't. I am not at all bothered. Oh. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about too, by the way, Kitty Witty. I think it's that one that, yeah, starts with a G. Mm. But either way, guys, I am going to go and have a hot shower, and hopefully that can clear up a little bit of how I'm feeling. And then I am going to try and find some soup, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, I've added pink Himalayan salt to my shopping list. I shall do that, like I said, when I get off here. Because the beauty of doing Coles online, guys, is the fact that you can create a shopping list. And then what you can do is you can add to it over time. And then if the best thing about it though is that when they have specials, say this week, I can add things to it. And then by the time I get paid next week, they might be even cheaper or they might be back to the original price. But yeah, oh, thanks, Bubsy. I hope so. All right, guys. Ink, follow your heart and get the hell out of your situation as soon as you possibly can, hun. And please message me on Messenger if I can be of assistance in any way, just to be someone that you can talk to, even if it's just so you can vent. Please feel free to do that. This is for everybody that I am friends with on Facebook. But like I said, I just hope I feel better soon. And Kitty Witty, thank you for being in here. Bubsy, thank you for being in here. And thank you to the others who weren't participating in chat at all. Thank you so much as well for being here. I much appreciate all your support. It means so much to me. But just know that you're welcome, Ink. If there's anything else I can do, just let me know. Like I said, guys, being sick sucks, but I wanted to check in and make sure everybody was okay. Give everybody a health update. I know it's not COVID. I've already done the check. So yeah, I know it's not COVID, but I am going to try and relax for the rest of my night. All of you take care of yourselves. Oh, and for the person who donated to me and told me to get cake, I got myself some cupcakes the other day, and they were fucking awesome. And now, you know what's really bad though is the fact that every time I get sick, it's always after I get donations and I go do certain things with it and I just do whatever, you know what I mean? And then it's like, ugh. But yeah, it's annoying for me. But shit happens. And the person who said to me that they might be coming to Adelaide, I really hope you do come to Adelaide. It'll be awesome to meet you. Again, the reason I'm not mentioning names throughout what I just said then is because what people talk to me about on Messenger is private. And I see it as that, you know, it's all good. And like I said, I don't people say ask me, "Oh, Tammy, do you drive?" I drive people insane. Okay? That's as far as I go as far as driving goes. But to the person who said they might be coming to Adelaide, oh, I fucking hope you do. That would be awesome. Because I would love, and it might sound really stupid now, for anyone who knows me and knows that I'm a hugger. So this is out to the person if they're still in here. If you are coming to Adelaide, would you feel uncomfortable if I hugged you? Please message me your answer. Because the worst thing is, though, is that when you reach to somebody to hug them, right, and they're not a hugger, it's like, hi, you got your arms out, and then you're just like, I'm showing you this new dance. It's called the rejection hug movement. It's really fucking bad. Oh, I make myself laugh. I'm sad. I'm sorry. But like I said, so whoever did say to me they think you're coming to Adelaide, please let me know if you're a hugger. Because if you're not, then I don't do the new dance move called the embarrassing hug move. You know, the what was it? The rejected hug move. That's what I'm going to call it. Because then what will happen is that then as I'm reaching out to hug you, you might not be a hugger, so then I'll have to reach back and hug myself. It's called the rejection self-love hug. There you go. It's a dance we all know. All right, guys. I've just embarrassed myself, and I'm sorry for that. I am going to go because I need a hot shower to try and clear up my lungs a little bit because I can't. I see my doctor tomorrow, so I need to ask for asthma medication, but I can't get that till next Wednesday. I need to get some cold and flu stuff, but again, not till next Wednesday. All this sort of shit I need to make sure that I buy. But until next time, guys, you all stay warm, stay cool, stay hydrated, keep your fluids up if you're not well like me. And I will see you all next time. No idea when that will be. I do not know. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but we'll see how we go. But like I said before, just remember self love is the best thing. I've discovered that in myself. It's like, I love me. And it took me a long time to get there. And Ink, you will get there, honey. I promise you. All right, guys. So until next time, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye.